Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai, and welcome to the live stream of Kōrero with local body candidates for the 2022 local body elections. My name is Ivor Jones, and my family and I have been residents of Ōpōtiki since we moved here from Rotorua in 2011. As a resident that will be voting in this year's election on the 8th of October 2022, I was interested in asking the mayoral and council candidates if they would have a kōrero with me about who they are and why they have applied for the positions they have. I work in the digital media field, and the intention of this cast is to raise the awareness of the Ōpōtiki community in terms of the characteristics and qualities of those people seeking to serve the community. I have spoken directly to several candidates about this idea, and a number are supportive, including our guest, Debi Hocart. Tēnā koe, Debi. A YouTube channel exists that will hold the videos of our conversations so they can be referenced in the future. All candidates receive the same 10 questions upon which our korero is based, which should be around 15 to 30 minutes in length. And I hope that you find it of value. That's sort of why I'm doing this, and are able to share it around with the whānau so they can see all of the, qualities and characteristics of who you're going to vote for. That's the aim. With that said, I would like to welcome Debi, an independent candidate and current councillor of the Waiōeka, Waiōtahe, Ōtara Ward. In the 2022 election, 5 councillors in total vying for 2 positions at the Ōpōtiki District Council table, which has 7 councillors in total. Debi states that I am standing for re-election on the Waiōeka, Waiōtahe, Ōtara Ward. I am a registered nurse working casual part-time in Ōpōtiki College, Thornton Park Retirement Village, Toi Ora Health and Whakatane Hospital. If re-elected, I would continue to lobby for changes to the Three Waters reform, the harbour development, growth of Ōpōtiki District, affordable housing, and encouragement of local businesses are all important to me. Tēnā koe, Debi.
Kia ora.
Who are you and why are you running in this election again?
Ko Debi Hocart aho. I am originally from Australia, born in Bunbury, Western Australia, but my mother was born in Cambridge.
I won't hold that against you, Debi.
Thank you. That's why I don't mention it too often. My mother was actually born in Cambridge, New Zealand, and she moved to Australia with her parents when she was young. I came to New Zealand on a bit of a working holiday, established myself in Ōpōtiki with a nice farmer, and then discovered that my cousin was actually born in Ōpōtiki, so I feel like I moved home. And I've lived in Ōpōtiki longer now than I ever did in Australia. And I'm running again in this election because I have really enjoyed my last term, considering all the challenges we had with COVID, and I've still got lots of energy to give this beautiful town.
Fantastic. You run straight into the second question, Debi. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing our community of Ōpōtiki?
I think climate change has got to be the biggest. The Three Waters is pretty big, but I think climate change has got to be the biggest because it affects our orchardists, our farmers, people living on the coast, anybody living by rivers. It's got to be the biggest challenge, and it's a very big one because it's not just something our community can solve on their own. But definitely Three Waters in there, and what local government stands for.
Local government. What do you think the role of local government is in shaping the future and success of the community of Ōpōtiki?
I believe the local government should be local. It should encompass the community and the community's voice so that they can see and say what they need for their own community, as opposed to a national government, which is broader. I think local governments give people living in towns and in the suburbs a voice for what they need for themselves.
What do you think the role of local government is in shaping the future and success of our community of Ōpōtiki?
Local government is the voice for the people in our community. If we don't have local government, where do we have a say in what affects us and how we want to see growth in our area. No one else can speak for the areas, for the local areas.
So it sounds to me like an important attribute that you might bring to the table is that of advocacy. Is that
Definitely. Yes, I would definitely advocate for local government to remain local, because that's where our say is in what happens for us in the future.
Mm-hmm. How do you envisage working with other councillors, especially with those who you disagree with? There is some history of this with the Ōpōtiki District Council, I think it's fair to say. So you might have some experience to share, without naming names, on how you might deal with that.
I think it's really important that we have respect for each other, even if we don't like each other. Having respect for that person and saying, well, they have a right to an opinion and I should listen to it. It's that listening and accepting that other people think differently, and being able to work with that rather than making an attitude, say, I don't want to listen to that person, they just talk rubbish, because they have a right to speak. Yeah.
I ran an AGM last night, annual general meeting of Te Tahuna Trust, which is a land trust back in Rotorua. So yes, I understand the nuances involved with managing people around a table and personalities and trying to get towards a common goal. I have experienced perhaps what I think you're talking about around the governorship tables that I've been around. So I can relate to what you're saying.
I think it's important that everyone feels that they're heard. So that process can take quite a long time if everybody's going to have their say and feel like they're heard.
What are your thoughts around the role of local and central government and what could be improved?
I think they're two quite separate entities, but I think that national governments should listen to what local areas are saying, particularly around things like the three waters. For me, it's too generalized, and it should be more specific to particular areas, because every single place in New Zealand has got different issues around their water. So it's about that. This is what our community is thinking and feeling and seeing. Now we need to be able to tell national government, I don't mean national or Labour, I mean the governing body need to listen better to what we're saying and find a way forward, because they have a purpose as well. Yeah, it's just different. Yeah.
We're up to question number 8, Debbie, so not too many to go. Natural disasters. You live down the road from me at Tirohanga. Right? I'll quickly relate this scenario to you. When the tsunami happened, or when the potential tsunami happened and everyone ran for the hills, we were up here at Tirohanga and everyone came up the hill, and I ran down to your place and was knocking on doors and stuff like that and making sure that people came out. How would you manage a natural disaster in the role of a councillor?
I would direct people to do exactly that, go up the hill, grab their immediate things that they need, maybe their pets, and I would, if they had questions, I would try to get the answers for them, because there is a civil defence team that would actually manage it, but I would direct them to that. And contact people. What actually happened at the last one was I was in Whakatane, and I knew my husband didn't get the tsunami alerts, so we were busy contacting him saying, you need to get in the car with your animals and go up the hill, because I was working in Whakatane at the time.
But does anyone at the council sort of give you a call and say, Debbie, as a councillor, enact plan civil defence or whatever?
Well, that's not what happened last time, and I don't know if it is meant to happen, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps something to work on in the future.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
How do you plan to...
There needs to be better cohesion, really, for councillors, so that they know what's happening, even if it's a message that comes up on their phone. Yeah, that
Yeah,
says this is what we're doing. Just so you know, this is what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like just clarifying the role that you as a governor has in terms of natural disasters and stuff. But thank you for supplying your answer. How do you plan to connect with all parts of the community to ensure that their voices are heard?
What I had hoped would happen last time was that we would be able to have some regular gatherings, but with COVID that got pushed aside and then it just got lost. But I would really like to get that happening again if I'm re-elected. You know, we might say, like, next month, we advertise next month we're going to be at a hall or at a marae or at the library. We'll be there for this length of time. Come and talk to us. Or ask people where they want us to be so that they can connect with us. You know, it might be at an orchard, so come and talk to us. I'd be really happy to see that happening more.
Cool.
Because that's the best way to talk to people, is on their own surroundings. Yeah,
it's quite clear you're clearly accessible to your constituents, so that's pretty cool. Last question, Debbie. Elected members must act in the best interests of their community and declare any interests that could be perceived as a conflict to being impartial. Do you have any interests that could be perceived as a conflict to being impartial?
I have none. None at all.
I asked this question, do you have a company that has offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands? No. Are you a member of Voices for Freedom?
No.
Are you a member of Freedom and Rights Coalition?
No, I'm not.
Are you a Destiny Church member?
No, I'm not.
Great.
Would that matter?
No, it wouldn't. But if that was a platform or a value that was a motivation for campaigning, I would hope that you as a candidate would have the strength to stand on that as a platform. So this is an effort to, as I say, raise the awareness of the characteristics and qualities of the people that are wanting to serve the community. And that's an important issue at the moment, is the influence of misinformation and disinformation and the effect that it's having in our community. So
it's very important.
But ngā mihi, Debbie, thank you very much for your time. I enjoyed speaking with you very much. You were very clear and concise about the experience that you've had as a councillor and the benefits that brings to you, to your efforts to become re-elected in that ward. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Is there anything you'd like to end with?
I would like to thank you very much for organising this. It's not, it's quite new for me, and I think it's a really good way to get out to another group of people as well. So thank you very much. Ngā mihi to you.
You're welcome. I enjoyed us setting up the lighting and getting it pretty good, I think, with your laptop. It looks pretty cool.
It was fun.
Ngā mihi, Debbie. Thank you. Bye.
Kia pai tō rā.